I do not know that for the present state of affairs, teachers and students are to an extent responsible, but I beg to submit that the higher authorities are in no way less responsible for the present state of affairs. In our universities, without mentioning names, we know that proper care is not taken in the appointment of vice chancellors. If the system of election has failed, selection by government has proved no better so far as the crises of the vice chancellors are concerned in many universities. The director of education is chosen as vice chancellor, and I have reason to believe that their selection is in general resented by the professors of the universities concerned. I do admit that some of the directors of education might be fit even to be in charge of universities, but I do feel that if the government wish that persons in charge of secondary education should also take interest in university education, it is proper to appoint them as university professors before they are appointed as vice chancellors of universities. I have in mind a person like Dr. Amarnath Jha, who belonged to the provincial education service. He served as a university professor, had experience of university education, and then when the became the vice chancellor of the university, he discharged his duties as vice chancellor admirably well. I wish to point out that professional character, wide human sympathy, interest and understanding of university education, capacity for leadership, faith in the democratic ideals, reputation for learning and confidence of the authorities are absolutely necessary in a good vice chancellor, and proper care should be taken in devising ways and means for selecting proper persons as vice chancellors of universities. I welcome the new pay scales of teachers of the central universities. I do wish to point out that there is a great need for the alignment of the grades of lecturers and readers. Most of the teachers' conflicts are due to these two grades of lecturers and readers, and greater harmony will prevail among teachers in case the two grades subject to certain efficiency bar are amalgamated. I do feel that there is no marked difference in the abilities of teachers of central and state universities, and there is need for equalization of the pay of teachers of state universities. Whoever may be responsible for the difference in pay the country would suffer if there is no equalization of pay, because dissatisfaction would continue, and this will tend to spoil the university life and standards. I wish to point out that some system of transfers should be encouraged by the University Grants Commission. Mr. Deputy Chairman, sir, I welcome the bill which has been moved by the Honorable Minister. This is a bill which has got the consent of the important organizations of the scheduled caste and of the scheduled tribes, and as such it is in the fitness of things that we should try to respond to the desire of those organizations and their representatives. Sir, the sentiment of those organizations is quite understandable, because in the arrangement as it exists at present, those members of the scheduled castes and the scheduled tribes who want to take advantage of the reservation made for them in the constitution in order to represent certain constituencies in the legislatures are laboring under a distinct advantage. The disadvantage is that a double member constituency by its very nature is an unwieldy constituency, and except in certain urban areas, and constituency covers a very wide area, and it becomes very difficult for any member approach each and every voters as he should, and to convey them his ideas, his policies and his programs, and to canvass his vote. Sir, it is a well-known fact that the larger the constituency, the greater the expenditure for many candidates who wants to get the vote of the electorate in the constituency. The members of the scheduled castes and the scheduled tribes are not so prosperous or have not got enough resources to manage such large constituencies, and therefore what happens in the ultimate analysis is that this member of the scheduled castes or the scheduled tribes has to enlist the cooperation of the candidate who stands for the general seat, and even the newspapers normally described the candidate from the scheduled castes and the scheduled tribes as rather a running mate of the candidate who is fighting in the general seat. It is a very desirable thing, because thereby the special protection which the constitution has given and which this parliament has extended would not be available to the members of the scheduled castes and the scheduled tribes, and the will have to enlist the support of the general constituency candidates. It is perhaps because of the lack of resources and because of unwieldiness the constituency should be bifurcated. Again, sir, there is a provision that after the day limitations a chance will be given to the various parties concerned to make any representations stop.